This video is in continuation to the November 2021 amendment lecture which is already uploaded on YouTube. With the amendment lecture, a booklet was given. Now this booklet on page number 4 had a reference regarding circular number 146 which said can ignore for exams. Correct? With the latest statutory update which is released by ICAI, this circular has been added there. As it is now part of the statutory update book, now you will have to delete this line on page number 4. That means at present for your exams, you will be reading circular number 146. The difficulty is even today, this provision is not yet active, meaning to say non-compliance till 30th September 2021 would not result in any penalty. So dynamic QR code on the ground level at present is not active. However, as the circular has been now forming part of statutory update, we will have to go through it. See, dynamic QR code is a concept where B2C invoices are to have a QR code which has details regarding payment to be made, where I can make a digital payment. So as a consumer, the invoice provides a dynamic QR code. I can scan it and make a payment. That's the basic requirement of dynamic QR code. Now, this is required only for B2C invoices. Circular provides certain clarifications of issues which were being faced by the trade. The trade faced various issues when the notification was first released. As the trade faced various issues, CBIC came up with various clarifications. Let's see those clarifications which have been released by CBIC. So the first issue was whether export invoices are required to have a dynamic QR code. As you are already aware, B2B are to be e-invoices. Similarly, export invoices are also required to be e-invoices. That means it has to generate an invoice reference number, and after that invoice reference number is generated, that has to be printed on the invoice, and then it becomes an e-invoice. The requirement of e-invoice was already there for exports. The question was, in case of exports, whether dynamic QR code is also required. CBIC clarified that in case of exports, there is no need to mention dynamic QR code as it already falls under the category of e-invoicing. It would be regarded as a B2B invoice. Plus, let's go through where are the cases in which dynamic QR code is applicable, plus certain sectors which are not required to have dynamic QR code. First and foremost, even today, this provision is applicable if a person's aggregate turnover exceeds 500 crore. For your exams, B2B invoices, the limit has been made as 50 crores. With effect from 1st April 2021. But in respect of dynamic QR code, even today, the limit remains 500 crores. Plus, it is not applicable where a person is an insurer, a banking company or a financial institution, goods transport agency provider, supplier of passenger transport service, multiplex screen regarding exhibition of cinematographic film, and last one, OIDAR supplies made by any registered person who has obtained registered under section 14. These are excluded from the applicability of dynamic QR code. Plus, exports will not require dynamic QR code. If we were to just sum it up, see, B2B invoices, there is a requirement of having a e-invoice. Correct? Export invoices, for the purpose of this, would be required to have e-invoice. That means dynamic QR code is not required. B2C invoices need to have a dynamic QR code. Here in this part, the limit is 50 crores. And remember, if the turnover in any of the preceding financial years from 17-18 exceeds 50 crores, and here the limit is exceeds 500 crores. Clear with this? There were other issues being faced as to what else needs to be there on a dynamic QR code, what would lead to non-compliance, what would be regarded as compliance of dynamic QR code. Let's see. The next question which was asked was, what are the details which are required to be captured in that dynamic QR code? The clarification by CBIC provides that the supplier's GST number should be there on it, supplier's UPI ID, supplier's bank account number and IFSC code, invoice number and invoice date, total invoice value, GST amount. All these needs to be there on the dynamic QR code. It should be embedded. So that dynamic QR code will have all these details embedded. A particular scan would allow you to make payment against that particular invoice. Then, if the supplier displays dynamic QR code, but customer opts for making payment through any other mode, then whether it would be considered as a compliance by the supplier? The answer is yes. If the invoice has that dynamic QR code, then whether the other person is making payment through digital mode or through cash mode would not make any difference. That's the clarification given by CBIC. So, if all these are mentioned, the said invoice will be deemed to have complied with the requirement of dynamic QR code. If you have provided an option, the other person makes the payment in cash, no problem at all. Fair enough. See the third point. If the supplier makes available customer an electronic mode of payment like UPI collect, UPI intent through mobile application or computer based application, where though dynamic QR code is not displayed, but details of merchant and transaction are displayed or captured otherwise, whether dynamic QR code requirement would be met. Now, I have provided a application to the consumer that he can scan and make the payment. In that case, whether it would be sufficient to meet the requirements as per the law. Now, CBIC has given a very good clarification on that. If you have the cross-reference of payment on the invoice and you can substantiate the transaction, that would be sufficient compliance. The key word in this is cross-reference. The moment a cross-reference is there of the payment being made against a particular invoice, then in that case, it is deemed that a person has complied with the requirements of dynamic QR code. Okay. Then the next one deals with is generation or printing of dynamic QR code mandatory for prepaid invoices. Invoice is already paid, prepaid orders. Now, in such cases, whether there is a necessity to give a dynamic QR code. Understand the basic intention. If the person has already made the payment, what will he achieve by mentioning that dynamic QR code? Now, here CBIC has again clarified that if cross-reference of the payment received is mentioned, that is compliance of dynamic QR code. What CBIC wants, what's the government's objective behind dynamic QR code? there should be a cross-reference of the payment made towards a particular invoice. If that is being met, then it is sufficient compliance. And the last one is, if the e-commerce operator or the online application has complied with dynamic QR code, should the supplier also comply with the dynamic QR code? For such cases, the CBIC has clarified that the provision will apply for each supplier separately. Just because e-commerce operator is providing that doesn't mean that supplier can ignore it. It will apply to each supplier separately based on the turnover, that is aggregate turnover from 17-18. If in any of those financial years the aggregate turnover exceeded 500 crore, dynamic QR code requirement kicks in. Now in such cases, again the law very clearly says that supplier making supply through e-commerce operator and the supplier gives cross-reference of payment receipt. Key point. Cross-reference available, then you would be deemed to have complied with the requirements of dynamic QR. So basically what government wants is a cross-reference that this payment was received for this invoice. That's the basic target behind all these clarifications. Clear with this? Yes. Wishing you all the best for your exams. Bye bye.